I have started the Poirot.
T'as commencé la Poirot? One of the things that is really catching me out in France now is that there are many, many more people to whom I should use tu now.
You're very old.
Yeah.
Steph activates chicken. Chicken activator.
Started the stream.
Right, I don't know.
I do not need to make a telephone call at the moment.
What do I have to do at the moment? I really can't remember.
Maybe you should look at no, that's just a suspect.
Decipher the Bernard
Oh
documents.
yes, you've just got all the bits from Hastings to...
So, how are you getting on? I'm ready to take notes.
I don't know. You know how to go somewhere.
You have stuff in your inventory.
If someone has tried to get rid of these documents, they may be important.
Yes.
So what can I do with things?
I lock my revolver in this drawer.
Draw.
Well, to be fair, pronouncing draw as draw is not entirely logical.
Poor Mr. Poirot.
So we had a conversation last time about having acquired the stuff to
Do the thing.
do the
I've
thing.
finished with it.
Something, yes. Does that involve invisible ink or something? But I'm not sure
It
exactly.
involved putting some chemicals on some hamsters, but I can't remember what the chemicals. There are two things to observe there. What are two things to
Oh,
observe?
hold on. I've already observed them. Okay, right.
Royal Mathematical and Statistical Society's Bulletin, September the 9th, 1935. The alphabet murder, a methodical madman. It's highly probable that the alphabet murderer will kill again. Could we possibly estimate the number of victims in his next crime?
One.
Yes, and it is easy. As soon as we know the ratio of towns, cities and villages whose names begin with a D, and the ratio of English people whose names are spelled the
That's the
same.
the actual number of victims.
On the one hand, the ratio of towns, cities and villages in England with a name starting with D, and on the other hand, the ratio of English people with a name also starting with D. After this initial calculation, it is easy to deduce the likelihood of actually being murdered if you belong to the target population.
But if
Go to the last page to find our results and details on the calculations.
But if your name begins with D and you're a foreign resident in England...
Daily Blade, August 31, 1935. Moustache at half-mast. Poirot's repeated failure in ABC case. Sometimes small things trouble great men. Hastings, faithful collaborator of the Belgian detective, knows something about it. 3 mornings in a row, he confided to us, the cook broke the egg yolks when preparing Poirot's breakfast. This apparently casual event has greatly disturbed my friend, to the point it breaks his concentration and slows his judgment. I also noticed his moustache, of which he is so proud, being duller than usual.
Poirot, I assure you I haven't said any such thing to the journalists. They twist everything.
Sid. So, where are these things that you acquired to let you do stuff with things?
Now, down to work.
Okay, if I examine the mirror this time, I get to do something.
What of this needs putting in order, really?
Okay, have I got to make a jigsaw
I
out
think
of
you've got to kind of do a jigsaw hamster.
Okay. What? Only some of them are actually grabbable. Can I put them in which one? Okay, maybe, I suppose.
This piece should be placed here.
Should it?
This page is child's play.
So I'm not quite sure what your chemicals you acquired were. This seems to be...
This page is finished. That's done. 3 more to go.
Okay. Fine. No. Close at an angle, I see.
This does not look too difficult.
It doesn't look like anything.
Want to go there? Don't think you do. Where do you want to go? No? I thought you wanted to go there before, but you do this time. Okay, fine. No.
This page is child's play.
But you're silly. Oh, hello. I've tried you at the top before.
This page is finished. And that's 2 done. It's easier than I thought.
Don't think so. Okay, fine. Maybe? Oh. No.
This page is child's play.
I'm not entirely convinced by it, I have to say.
This page is finished.
That doesn't seem to match particularly.
Only 1 more. Keep going.
No?
Maybe you need the other bits in place.
Okay.
This page is finished. All the pages are reconstructed.
What?
A bottle of solvent.
The colour blue.
A dry cloth.
Maybe turn the dry cloth into a solvent cloth.
A dry cloth.
Magic will happen.
But I can't action the solvent on the
A
cloth.
bottle of solvent.
Can you action the cloth on the solvent?
A dry cloth. A dry cloth.
What?
A dry cloth.
I know it's a dry cloth. What?
A dry cloth.
Well, I can't action the cloth
A
on the
bottle of
solvent
solvent.
on the cloth, Claire.
Can you are they in your inventory in a way that allows you to merge them in your inventory?
No, the inventory's just those 2 things in the bottom corner, which are the letter from ABC and the shreddings.
Right, yeah.
Can you use the solvent on the letters?
I've tried using the solvent on the letters. I've tried using the cloth
Dry
on the letters.
cloth.
I've tried using the cloth on the solvent. I've tried using the solvent on the cloth.
A bottle of
Can
solvent.
you use the solvent on the background?
What?
Okay.
I've tried that
right.
4,000 times.
The cloth is now soaked with solvent.
Stick to.
Got it! Make a note, Hastings, make a note. Mrs. Alisasha, Sharpona in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, prescribed laudanum.
I got it. Look. Poirot, where on earth did you find these files?
On a fire at the bottom of the garden at campsite.
All right, but where did the person who burned them find them?
So what did we actually do? We rubbed solvent on burnt pages, and this makes them.
Which presumably made them readable somehow.
Do we know?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Don't know.
It's the kind of thing that you can in theory be done to reconstruct certain things.
Alice Asher,
And that-
shopkeeper in Andover. Tracheitis, hemoptysis, chronic cough with loss of blood. Prescribed laudanum-based cough medicine. Betty Barnard, waitress in Bexhill. Chronic bronchitis causing dysphonia. Advised to stop smoking.
No one would advise you to
Alexander
start
Bonaparte
with
Cust.
35.
While wounded, mustard gas and head trauma. Pulmonary emphysema. Hemoptysis. Coughing fits with blood. Suffers from absences and amnesia. Dick Dudley Dunbar, owner of the Black Swan Hotel in Doncaster. Asthmatic, heart disease, heart condition. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Where do they come from? Now I guess that one's relevant because it's actually about the documents.
I mean, I would. Yes. Hang on, what are the others?
That
Yes,
I mean, he was a doctor, so his records would make sense as well.
They're obviously stolen from his record.
That doesn't seem particularly relevant to where they came from, though.
Not very.
such.
Maybe the multiple sales
Yeah,
were
no,
stolen?
that feels too late because surely they must have been obtained before the first murder.
Not necessarily.
So, which I think means that Miss Asher's name being on there is significant because it indicates that they were obtained before the first murder.
Why were they obtained for the first murder?
Because I think they were used to find the victims.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And significantly, they came from them early. But
The burned documents are medical records, and without a doubt, they come from Clark's archives. First of all, because all the patients have throat conditions. And secondly, their name starts with either A, B, C, or D, and it is precisely the files that match these letters that have been tampered with.
But why burn these files? How come the names of the two victims appear on them? And who are the two other patients?
These are very good questions.
the victim number D.
And one of those initials, ABC. It is a bit strange.
I would suggest you get Japs to find both of the two who aren't dead yet and keep them apart.
Hello, Poirot.
Any news, Chief Inspector?
You wanted a stocking seller? We have one. Reported by his landlady, thought he was behaving suspiciously. He has the most unbelievable name.
Who's Wang Jing?
I don't know.
I think we show off, obviously, with the Poirot.
Alexander Bonaparte Cust.
Yes, Alexander Bonaparte Cust? How did you guess? Poirot, you have magical powers. It's a serious lead. I called Doncaster. A person matching Cust's description has been seen at the station. He got off the train from London, but after that, nobody knows where he went.
Have we heard the name Black Swan Hotel?
Yes, I think it was
Yes, we have.
where our victim in Doncaster was kept.
Oh,
think.
yes.
I had a guess for it on the grounds that
Dastardly
it's
at
in
Doncaster.
nothing else makes sense. But I don't remember there being a Black Swan, but I am very soon.
Look for him at the Black Swan Hotel.
What? How do you know he's there?
Trust me, Chief Inspector.
You appear to be very sure of yourself.
Well, I am
Very well. I'll call the Black Swan straight away. The owner is going to get a shock when he learns that there's a murderer under his roof.
Us calling doesn't feel very Poirot-y. Turning up and going hello feels more Poirot-y. What should we do? I'm going to encourage Jack.
Do your best, Jack.
You can count on me.
Oh, no ego points.
Hastings, everything is at stake. With a little luck, our main suspect will soon be under lock and key.
Maybe you two want to let
So has Cust been arrested?
Yes, the Doncaster police are sending him by train.
That is good news. But why so gloomy, Chief Inspector?
Well, when I told the hotel owner that he was sheltering a murderer, he collapsed.
Is dead?
No, fortunately, but it has taken its toll on him. It has to be said that with his name starting with the letter D, he had every reason to fear Cust. That he was going to be the next victim.
What? Okay.
Chief Inspector, I believe that I share responsibility for this incident.
What do you mean?
I saw Mr. Dunbar's medical records. His heart was weak. I should have warned you.
It's very honest of you to tell me that, Poirot. I appreciate your gesture.
Please keep me informed of his progress.
You can count on me. I'll do what's needed.
I will visit him at his bedside when the killer is caught.
That's typical of you, Poirot. We should focus on the next part of the investigation in order to avoid other incidents. While we're waiting to question Cust, we could search his room in London.
Where does he live?
The Marbury Guest House.
I'll see you there.
Yes, but start without me. First of all, I have to sort out a few details for Cust's transfer.
I understand. À bientôt. Hastings, we are making good progress. Please go and search the room of our number one suspect.
With pleasure. I did have a dentist appointment, but I'll cancel.
The dentist. So that is why you are so nervous and bad-tempered.
A visit to the dentist is never an enjoyable prospect.
But an unavoidable one. Go to your appointment, Hastings. I will manage on my own.
What if we'd we could prevent him having a heart attack?
Possibly.
Or something.
To Marbury Guest House, please. Marbury. There is a very pretty village by this name in Cheshire.
Where?
Cheshire.
Right.
This is the same layout as the house, isn't it? With the stairs over there.
It is a very beautiful piano. It looks like I've found the real master of this house.
And the elastic snap on the fairy dice.
I should check the register. Mrs. Marbury may have been hiding something from me.
How do you do? You must be Mr. Hercule Poirot. Chief Inspector Judd told me that you might be coming.
Get annoyed seeing her peel potatoes. Why is she peeling potatoes at the front desk? I'm sure she's a great help.
Madame, you may be of valuable help to me.
It would be my pleasure to help you. Will there be some journalists there as well?
I think you might even be interviewed. You are a key witness.
I've suspected him for some time, but he appeared so harmless. Oh yes, sometimes he got angry and waved his arms about. But even then, he wasn't frightening. And he was as gentle as a lamb again immediately afterwards. It was only this morning that I understood. He told me he was going to Cheltenham, but my daughter saw him at Euston Station. It's not the right station. To get to Cheltenham, you have to take the train from Paddington. And what's more, Mr. Cuss left behind an ABC with Doncaster underlined. As you can imagine, when I saw that, I called Scotland Yard.
One moment, please. How did you know that Cuss had underlined Doncaster in his railway guide?
I went and had a look in his room.
I see. Do you make a habit of searching through your lodger's belongings?
Well, what are you going to do later? I bet you're going to poke around his room too?
Tell me, did you have any other reason to suspect Mr. Cuss?
He's rather queer. He talks to himself, he has a bad cough. Because of the war, he says. And then he was in Churston when that millionaire got murdered. I found his train ticket when I washed his coat. He didn't want me to wash his shirt. He washed it himself. But I did see big brown stains on it.
Do you think it was blood?
It might have been.
Cuss used to travel for his work. Is that correct?
Yes, although he was well on trains.
Do you know where Cuss was at the time of the murder in Andover and Bexley? On June the 21st and July the 25th?
No idea.
But surely you keep a register.
It won't do you much good. Mr. Cuss rents his room for the year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it. Ah! I remember one thing. Bexley's by the sea, right?
Indeed, it is a large seaside resort.
Well, as it happens, at the start of July, Mr. Cuss asked me to repair his bathing dress. Suspicious, huh?
You're suspicious, huh?
Very interesting. Please continue.
I also forgot to say that he started buying newspapers that talked about the case.
When did he start buying the newspapers?
Let's see. I think it was just after the millionaire's murder in Churston. He didn't seem all that interested before that.
That will be all for now. I'm going to take a look at his room.
Take the key on the counter. I don't think my register will help you. Mr. Cuss rents his room all year.
The truth is becoming apparent, and I have something to say to Mrs. Marbury.
Okay, that presumably wasn't actually important to read.
This woman appears to be in a bad mood.
Peeling potatoes. How else do you peel potatoes?
Mrs. Marbury, if I am to believe the register, you rented room 306 to a certain Mr. Fishman on the day of the Bexley murder. Room 306 is Cuff's room. Can you explain yourself?
If I did, it was because Mr. Cuss wasn't here. What about it?
The habit of letting rooms to multiple people.
Looks like you, sir.
You rented the same room to two people. That's fraud.
Calm down, Mr. Poirot. My lodgings were full and I couldn't let poor Mr. Fishman sleep outside.
Well, as I was told.
Laudanum Cameron's Chemists. Laudanum, a medicine for coughs. It is what Dr. Clark prescribed for Mrs. Asher. This subject will probably be useful to me. Diethyl barbituric acid, Johnson Company. I know this medicine. It is a powerful sedative. This subject will probably be useful to me.
Rules of evidence, Poirot. Rules of evidence.
How hopeful. This place is a real mess.
It's just trash. Look at it. Slightly misaligned bed.
And that's very offensive to Poirot. There's a typewriter.
Like you say, progress.
John Milligan, Managing Director, Silky Legs, Frederick Street, Leicester. To A.B. Cust, Marbury's Guest House, 1935, May the 21st. Dear Sir, further to our letters dated 5th and 10th of the month, we confirm we are you as door-to-door salesman, according to the conditions stated in our previous letters. We will send you the articles by mail and also a Redfield typewriter you will be using for every business letter. Regarding the schedule of your rounds, please do as following. June 21, Andover. Arrive by train the 20th in the evening and get a room at Station Hotel. Start your term in the north part of the town. This letter establishes that Cust went to Andover, but the ink has hidden the destinations of his other trips. I know from Mrs. Marbury that he went to Tristan. I just have to show that he went to Bexhill, and I will have proved that he was present at all the crime scenes. I have to get the ribbon. How am I going to do it?
I don't think I've read this one, so I think I'm allowed to be guided.
Something is blocking the ribbon. The ribbon is jammed. I have to start by freeing it. The ribbon is jammed. I have to...
Try the fruity thing it does.
The right-hand heel has been removed. The left-hand heel has been removed. Something is blocking the ribbon. Something is blocking the ribbon.
What? I don't see anything that's blocking the ribbon.
And here is the ribbon. Let us see if it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink ribbon for my inquiry. I will let Jack clean the keyboard if he wishes. All the letters announcing the murders were written on cut typewriter. It's an ABC. A long-bladed knife. A murderer's weapon. This subject would probably be useful to me. Cast is parsimonious. He keeps his pencils and sharpens them until there is nothing left. It is clear that he did not grow up in luxury. Did Cust drop it when he opened the window, or was it Mrs. Marbury while she was cleaning? It's closed. ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders.
You have a knife, or you had a knife.
It's true.
This knife is very useful. Who knows? Maybe it never cut anything other than string.
And take
Stockings.
Oh no, it's very suspicious that a stocking salesman has stockings.
How hopeful. This place is a real mess.
Hey, not out of 3 again.
The least we can say is that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Order and method.
Right then. Now what?
Trousers, white shirts. Everything has been washed very well. The Bexhill daily paper, dated from the day of the Bexhill murder.
Bum, bum, bum.
Most probably the bathing dress repaired by Mrs. Marbury's expert hands. All the main articles referring to the ABC case are here, from the Churston murder onwards. Nothing before that date.
I shall be back in a moment. sqook. Right, let us go and I assume do the thing. Where was Cust at the time of the Bexhill murder? Well, the rumour went to somebody else. And they found the thing. Oh, Bexhill's on... Ooh. Well, that suggests he was somewhere else other than here, but not necessarily in Bexhill.
But it's probably good evidence for wherever it was.
It's true. That is rather good evidence. You take having a paper from the day. That means he may have gone to the seaside at some point, but not necessarily when. So that suggests that that's got the time of the murder and that's got the Bexhillness of the murder. Okay.
The register shows that Cust did not sleep at the guest house on the day of the murder. Where was he? Bexhill. The Bexhill paper reveals it. Cust bought this newspaper in Bexhill on July the 25th.
Okay. Now go and see Mrs. Thingy.
It is now the right time.
Okay.
Have you looked at the sink?
Yes, I looked at myself in the mirror. What else can I do in here then? Oh, there's that thing on the floor. Okay. Thing on the floor.
This dark stain. It could be blood, but goodness knows how long it has been there. No use continuing the inspection of this room. I've seen all there is to see.
This key is useless now, this car.
Ah, a stain that was not useful is not useful, therefore it is time to leave because I am useless. I must know how to come to date.
Goodbye, Mrs. Marbury. Thank you for your help.
I look forward to seeing you again, Mr. Poirot.
You're weird. Would you like to take
Chief Inspector. I was about to leave.
Good evening, Chief Inspector. Welcome. Please excuse me, I must go to the kitchen. I'll leave the key of Mr. Cust on the counter.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've spent ages with the Doncaster police. And you?
I have not.
I have established one fact. On 3 occasions, Cust was at the scene on the day of the crime.
Talk to Jab. Hello, Jab.
I had best talk to Jab.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I've listened closely to what you have to say, Poirot. For me, there's no doubt Cust is guilty. Do you have any element that might prove the contrary?
That is what we're going to look for. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Was it possible for Cust to have killed the 3 victims? He was in the place of the murder on the day of the murder. They all came from his typewriter. He was in Bexhill. I mean, being in the 3 locations means it is possible, those 3 things. Okay.
What's unusual is he does have like 8 million ABC books.
Yeah.
Well, he
So he has
one.
ABC guides at home. Seems like a thing.
But it's
The
like-
letters and the knife.
Hang on. Carmichael Clark wasn't stabbed.
He was stabbed longitudinally.
he was
Yes.
he was killed with a knife. Though.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was stabbed.
Yeah, there's often loose wording in these.
I think probably all apart from that one.
Yes, I think that's essentially the I forgot the word.
The thing that makes him nonsense, Richard.
The evidence against Cust is overwhelming. His presence at the scenes, the knife, the blood-stained shirt, the ABCs in a box.
C'est vrai. However, the blood Mrs. Marbury's worn Cust's shirt may have been his own. According to his medical records, he suffers from hemoptysis. The murderer cuts a Carmichael's throat from behind, and the blood spurted outwards. You would expect the murderer's shirt to be stained on the sleeves, not on the buttonholes, yet we see quite the opposite. You would expect the murderer to keep the newspaper articles about his crimes. But Cust's collection starts in Cheston, as if he'd discovered the case rather late.
I agree it's troubling, but it doesn't change my mind. There's small details that we should be able to clear up by questioning Cust.
When can you talk to him?
Doncaster is sending him to us on first train.
Are they questioning him already?
He says he can't remember a thing.
It's plausible. Dr. Say suffers from absences and amnesia. Mrs. Marbury has confirmed this.
He may have done the murders in an altered state.
A familiar situation.
It's not enough to clear his name. Dr. Thompson insisted that even if you don't know what you're doing, you never commit a murder without wanting to.
Très intéressant. I shall remember that.
Right. I'll go and examine the suspect's room.
Chief Inspector, I took the liberty of removing a few clues to examine at all.
All right, we'll discuss them tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to see if you've missed something.
I took the liberty of burning the room down. What? Go to Stokeland Yard.
To Scotland Yard, please.
Are you famous Mr. Fan?
Candelabra must.
This man is not in good shape.
Too many elbows.
It's been eaten alive by sticks.
He is worried and very tired, and other police have been hard on him.
Hand over. What? Just don't.
What do you want from me?
Present yourself. That's a very pirate thing to do, isn't it?
Good day, Mr. Cust. I am Hercule Poirot.
Ah, you're the detective.
Yes, I am the person you have been sending the letters to.
I didn't write these letters. I've already said so.
I don't know.
Maybe you forgot that you wrote these letters.
I mean, what I want
Yes,
to do
it's
is
true.
to ask you
Sometimes
what
I
you
forget.
use a typewriter for.
Maybe I did type them.
Are you capable of killing?
Are you capable of murder, Mr. Cust?
All these questions are giving me a headache.
Insist on the fact that he enjoyed the war. I think getting to talk about the army is more plausible.
You suffered during the war.
It's true. I was wounded. I suffered. But the army was the only place I didn't feel inferior. No questions. Just orders to follow.
But ever since you were wounded, You have absences, bouts of amnesia.
And headaches.
Professor Clark treated you.
Yes, a few years ago he really helped me with my burned throat.
What? I don't know.
I mean, I would go for getting to believe he's innocent, but...
Yes, because the other two are too similar.
I was going to say he's some dodgy
Of course, you never considered killing a doctor who took such good care of you.
No, never.
Do you deny being at the scene of the crimes?
So? There was no harm in being there. It was only for my work.
Poor man. He's in no state to it. I am not going to leave before having finished questioning him.
Can you offer him a glass of water?
He's in no state. Poor man. If only I could help.
Oh, that's the point. I've got some laudanum, haven't I? Well remembered there. Laudanum or sedative?
Laudanum.
I was being...
Quite...
Yes. I'm looking at the two bottles there and asking which is which. Stout. But you need to stop it tempted to use the sedative.
Take this. It will help you.
Thank you.
This isn't laudanum. This is blood. What?
Oh, good God, my shirt is covered in blood again.
Bon. I now know where the bloodstains Mrs. Marbury saw came from. Are you well enough to speak?
Yes, I feel much better.
That's quite a lot of blood. Okay. Well, he's already acknowledged it. Well, he said there's no crime in doing so.
Do you deny being at the scene of the crimes?
So? There was no harm in being there. It was only for my work.
You were seen at all the crime scenes.
Yes, I was. I travel a lot. But not for pleasure. I am terribly unwell in trains. But I had to respect my engagements. My employer gave me very precise written instructions about the towns I had to visit.
Let's see. The company you claim to work for, Silky Legs, has never heard of you. And as for these letters they sent you, they were written on your own typewriter.
The company sent me the typewriter when I started working for them.
Yes, but the letters were received afterwards.
How did Jack find him?
Yeah. I had assumed that he went around companies that might have stocking salesmen and asked them all, who have you got working for you and do they match our...
Oh, it's probably Mrs. Thingy, his landlord, who just dogged him in.
Oh.
Yeah, she did say that she called the police.
Yes, she called Scotland Yard.
Yes, she did.
Ah, right. Yes. Which now makes her a bit suspicious.
So it would appear that you typed them before sending them to yourself, or it proves that you wrote them. They're much the same thing.
It proves that you wrote them.
I may have. Good God! I don't know what's happening to me. My head hurts terribly.
He is prey to a terrible anxiety. Is it remorse? Or simply the pressure of the questioning and the train journey?
Do I have to give him a
He
sedative?
is in no state.
Fine. What's that anyway?
frustrating.
Take this. It will help you.
Mr. Poirot, while I was away, you appear to have dozed off on suspect. Was it?
I think I'll be fine.
Let us see, Cust. Look at me. You know very well that you committed these murders?
Yes, I know.
But I'm not wrong in saying that you do not know why you committed them.
No, I don't.
So now I presumably present him with the...
Let us leave Cust alone.
No, I don't. I'll present him with it anyway.
You've received your Red Cross, which is of course a green.
And what conclusions have you drawn?
Plenty. It might help us to understand him a little better. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Is Cust innocent? What do you know about Cust's health? Well, that's about his health. That might be. That might be. Well, that's about his health. Those two. Those are fair enough. Do not support Cust's guilt in the Truston murder. Well, yes, his knife was used for stabbing, apparently. I mean, that's... do not support his guilt. Those two?
Generally.
I mean, that letter one is plausible. Having no reason?
Yeah, I think those, yes.
Ooh. Okay.
Only a foot jab.
Having no reason says he did not? Probably.
I don't see any clearer than before. This is worse.
There is one point to highlight. C'est curieux. Cust admits that he killed, but he does not know why. What did Dr. Thompson say? Even if Cust killed while in an altered state, it still must have been his deepest desire. He must have had a motive.
Let's keep it simple. Never mind his motive. He confessed.
But you see, he can confess to anything and everything. He denied the murders and then he confessed to them. He confirmed that he never typed the letters. Then, with great ease, I managed to get him to say quite the opposite.
Come on, he behaved like a guilty man. He lied to his landlady.
Because deep down he believes himself guilty. From the papers, he noticed that he had always been at the scene of the crimes. He must think that he killed and then simply forgot what he had done.
How can you be so sure?
Let us look at his psychological profile. You will understand my point of view. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Is Cust clever? What? I can't work out what's happening with the picture above currently.
No, someone seems to have already selected. Oh, there's a second deduction below.
Yeah, I know, but I've got... what? What's the top one?
I don't know. I think that's saying the murderer was clever.
Yeah.
But you're now trying to determine whether Cust is clever. Well, he doesn't understand the concept of a handkerchief.
Good grief. Those are really doing his cleverness, though.
That one, probably.
Maybe. Yeah, I think the army one is probably the only relevant one. I guess hesitant and shy. I guess not the sort of one you notice is against being a seducer, maybe. Always I'm well on trains. Okay. Working his arms around is kind of impulsive, isn't it? You can be miserly with money and generous with information.
You see? Cuss character is quite the opposite of the
Except for
murderess.
the coldness.
But if he's a madman, can we really talk about his character?
You know very well that our murderer does not behave like a psychopath. Apart from the signature, there is no ritual repetition in the choice of victims.
Very well, you're right as always. So we have no confession, no culprit, no suspects, nothing. And all that after 2 months of inquiry? What should I do?
Have faith. Just give me 24 hours.
In my little mess.
Probably saved one of the people, more or less.
Except we probably should have called ourselves rather than getting Jack to do it, because we might have managed a tiny bit more tact.
I can go to the car, or I can go this way. Okay.
To White Heaven, please.
And why was the third letter sent to the wrong address?
Cust's arrest is a great success for you, Poirot. It's all clear now, except maybe 1 or 2 details.
Details. Ah, mon ami. The devil is in the detail, as we say.
Excuse me?
Patience, Hastings. Everything will be clear once our guests arrive. Best be prepared. Slip a revolver into your pocket before they do.
A revolver? But Poirot, what are you afraid of?
Trust me. It is important you carry a weapon for this meeting. I will lend you mine.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
No.
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait 1 moment, I will bring you my weapon. The white ammunition are blank cartridges. The others are real bullets. The revolver is loaded with blancs. I still have time to choose real bullets. The revolver is loaded with real bullets. I still have time to choose blancs.
I surely want to have blancs, don't I?
I think so.
It didn't give me the choice. Then.
The white ammunition are blank cartridges. The revolver is loaded with blancs. I still have time to choose real bullets.
I think I want to have blancs. It doesn't seem very pyro-like to actually shoot real people for real.
Yes.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You... Voila, I don't trust you with my weapon. It has hardly been used. It is almost new.
Gandhi moustache.
You're not answering, Poirot.
Chief Inspector, is that you?
Yes. Sorry, but we haven't found anything.
Have you checked the typewriter?
And the packaging, the letter, and the ribbon reel. We've only found prints left by Cust and his landlady.
Well, never mind, I shall make do.
So, are you still going to hold your meeting?
Of course, Chief Inspector. I can hear my guests coming up the stairs.
Why have you brought us here, Mr. Poirot?
Since Cust's arrest, I thought it was all done and dusted. Miss Griff formally identified him, as well as Miss Ballard.
Yes, and the stockings he saw drove the same brand as the ones found at my aunt's.
This is all true. However, a case is not closed if some questions remain open. And one question is, why did the murderer send me his letters? Why did he challenge me, Hercule Poirot?
Perhaps he wanted to play with you, to taunt you.
Xenophobia? Maybe he didn't like you because you're foreign.
I may be wrong, but maybe by provoking you, he was looking for glory.
All these theories should be studied. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Why is Hercule Poirot so wonderful? Why did he make a mistake in the address? The body was still warm.
Oh, well, that's something we have been asking ourselves.
Yes. I mean, this doesn't feel helpful for why.
No. So I suppose it has information about in what way he got it wrong. So
the late arrival saved the murderer. That feels more useful. I mean, that feels silly as well because they got it right the first two times.
Yeah.
I mean, the only ones for why you might make it, causing it to be delivered late, and
thus saving him. So then what's the one just left? Is that just
it had a wrong address? It's not really a why though, is it? No.
The very rightmost. I think either that or the Poirot's address is not very well known, but
got it wrong because he was in an inferior state. No, I don't know.
No, I think the rightmost one. He always warned him, but this time he wanted the letter to be delivered late, but to have appeared to have done the right thing.
Right. Well, it felt more like glory rather than xenophobia in the phrasing. No. No. Well, that one then? No, what? What? Well, it's not the last thing, I've tried them.
Yes. I think I would actually go for the first one, weirdly.
So because the body was still warm?
As in, that's not why, that's the thing that informs you that he wanted Poirot to be the first person who turned up there. Oh, okay. Well, it was a good plan.
What?
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 I suppose Poirot's address is less well known.
Is everything clear now?
Yeah, but why did he write to Poirot? Because his
You
address is
might
not
like
known.
to explain your reasoning again.
Of course. First of all, remember that the murderer made it a rule to always post his letter before the murder. He never digressed from that rule. However, in Churton, he encountered a problem. The village has only 500 inhabitants. With advance warning, it would be easy to arrest him. Therefore, the murderer delayed his letters deliberately with the wrong address. The plan wouldn't have worked if he'd sent it to Scotland Yard or the papers because everybody knows their addresses. The mistake would have been corrected and the letter would have been on time. That is why the murderer chose me as the recipient.
Because for his plan to succeed, it was necessary for at least one of the letters to have a wrong address and get lost. It was very cunning.
No, at least one of them. The third
Absolutely.
one.
It is a versatile plan. It matches the profile we have drawn up of him perfectly. That of an intelligent, daring and calculating murderer.
But that's not how you describe Cust.
That's why I describe your eyebrow.
You are quite right, mademoiselle. Like you, I find it hard to believe that this dull character is the clever murderer we are looking for.
Do madmen... I mean, if he's mad, he might have two very different sides.
No doubt. But the murderer is not mad. All the specialists agree that he does not have the profile of the psychopath.
But if Cust is not guilty, how do you explain his presence at the scene of the crimes?
Mr. Clark, the answer to your question is in the medical record of your brother's patients. Documents which Cust most certainly did not have access to. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
I mean, the war one seems relevant to him being a bit of a state.
What was the last one? And that first one is obviously a thing we know about Cust.
We know that he was interested. We know that he buys newspapers. We know he was a door-to-door salesman.
But I don't think it's a coincidence.
True. But we know those two things as well. We know three things about him. Those two and that one.
Oh, I don't think the actual having been wounded is relevant, though. I think I would go to that plus that.
Does he get things for patient records? What? This one about medical records and the Asher one, but those are the two that don't mention cost at all.
But maybe that does relate to Poirot's last utterance, which was that the murderer had access to the medical records and Cust didn't.
I mean, that seems a bit... odd. I have no idea. 9 choose 2 is fairly big. Okay.
That was the of the three we thought might be right. That was the pair you didn't try.
Okay. Well, all three of them are plausible. You silly thing. I mean, those two are about why he was in the places.
Yeah. So I think coincidence is not correct.
Yes.
I mean, we know why he was there because he was told to be there. But
yes. He wanted to see the crime scene? Surely not.
no. I mean, he did buy the papers, which, like...
He did buy the papers.
He was really smartly curious about the weapons. But that could be a post-stoked ergo prop-stoked thing.
That's true. None of these really seem relevant to anything. What?
So, door-to-door sales suit is why he's a thing.
But I don't think it's a coincidence.
Brute force. Given how little sense these are making currently. What?
We exploded.
What? What?
Right, I suppose that...
Dr. Clark's patient's records provided a very useful list of potential victims, sorted by alphabetical order. The killer definitely used it, explaining the fact that all the victims were former patients of the doctor. It is this fact that clears Cust once and for all, because he never had access to these records. So how did he happen to be at the scene of the crimes? Either the murderer sent him there, or Cust was following him closely. Cust's highly suggestible nature leads us to the second hypothesis. The murderer was manipulating him. He systematically sent Cust to the towns where he was going to strike, so that the suspicion would land on the poor man's shoulder.
That's evil. What sort of killer could have such a plan? And what would he gain from 3 completely different murders?
Indeed, it seems unlikely that the same murderer committed all the crimes. What should we take from that?
Given there are 4 people here, probably there are a few murderers. It's also Christmas.
I mean, I would go... Carmichael Clark was the actual target, and the other 2 were merely red herrings, and therefore square.
But murder, not murderer. Sorry, snooze.
Just one murder was of benefit to the murderer. The others were just diversions. On reflection, there is only one conclusion. The murderer killed once out of interest, and twice to divert our attention. This reasoning points at 2 potential culprits.
Franklin Clark. Donald Fraser?
Yes, mademoiselle, that's good thinking. Mr. Fraser may have killed Betty out of jealousy. Mr. Clark may have killed his brother in order to inherit his large fortune. Both have a motive.
But Donald did not have access to Dr. Clark's records.
Please allow me to disagree with you, mademoiselle.
Oh yes, Donald's firm did work for Clark.
Did they?
Yes. We found things written by them at Clark's house.
Donald's firm? What Donald?
Solicitors, estate agents, something like that. Estate agents, I think. And they were valuing land owned by him.
I have never even heard that I should believe you.
He works for Court and Brunskill, one of whose clients was Sir Carmichael.
That name is familiar.
It doesn't prove that I went to Conside.
You could have done it, and you may have used the opportunity to take a look at Sir Carmichael's record.
You think I'm guilty?
You are the
Or
only
Mr. Franklin Clark.
That's ridiculous.
Both of you have a motive. The question is, which of you has the profile that most resembles the murderer? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
They're going to sit here with me going, don't know, random choosing things. It's you! Ow. Is Donald clever? He's a bright man. Well, being bright suggests he might be clever.
Yeah.
Attentive. Women seem to like him, but
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald may share many character traits with the murderer, but he does not have his cold indifference. He has a temper. It is hard to imagine him planning anything. Also, jealousy is his motive, and crimes of passion are rarely planned.
3 months.
Right, I suppose it's my turn to be subjected to the same scrutiny.
I suppose strictly only one.
Absolument, Mr. Clark.
Perspective was the second.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
a good student but lacked discipline. So given how old he is now, clearly his ability at school... Very plucky and sure of himself. Put a little hat up on your head. Courting someone does make you a seducer.
Owns a copy of the Railway Children.
Doesn't mean you like trades, it means you want like children. Crush on Jenny Agatha.
I don't think the film exists yet.
It's true. I know for that one on the grounds I can't read it. Hey!
As you have all seen, there is a disturbing similarity between Mr. Clark's profile and that of the killer. In actual fact, it is exactly the same.
Mr. Poirot, your psychological studies are interesting, but your conclusions do not add up. Why would I have wished my brother's death? The inheritance is lawfully mine. I just have to wait.
No, you had to act quickly.
What? Bothered him?
I think he probably would say he's impatient.
Because you are incapable of waiting.
Really? Well, I am no murderer. You presented him as being a cold and patient schemer.
Certes, normalement. But Lady Clark's imminent death precipitated events. Mademoiselle, although you haven't been telling the truth, there is no doubt in my mind that you would have found a way to marry Sir Carmichael after Lady Clark's death. For you, Mr. Clark, it was a disaster. If Miss Grey had children by your brother, you would not have inherited a thing. You realized the danger after reading several letters from Comside, especially one in which your brother opened his heart to you. So you hurried home from China, and you took action. In truth, Cust was no more than a puppet manipulated by the real culprit. You, Mr. Clark.
Such an imagination, Mr. Poirot. In fact, nobody manipulated Cust. The famous instructions he received by post. He wrote them on the typewriter. We know that for sure.
How do you know that?
Oh, no. You know perfectly well. That is not true. Eh bien, voilà. Light has now been shed on the ABC murders.
Your theories are ingenious, but you haven't any proof.
One point to him. For the moment, I have no material proof. Either I admit to it, or I bluff.
Should I lie about the typewriter? What should I do? What should I do these days?
I think you should lie about the fingerprints.
One thing proves it. The prints you left on Cust's typewriter.
Enough.
Oh, of course you wiped the typewriter before sending it. But not carefully enough. Scotland Yard has found your print along with those of Cust.
I understand why you never wanted to lend me your new typewriter, and why you were searching through your brother's things. And the hole you dug on the moors. What did you hide there?
Well, you
The
don't
knife
know
you used to
that,
kill your brother?
But she does.
Game, set, match. You win, Mr. Poirot.
Okay.
But it was worth trying.
Really?
What?
Don't come near me! I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot.
A blank at that range is still not good for you.
No.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clark, there is no easy death for you. I expected your reaction, so I used blanks. I'm sorry, mademoiselle, but your second chance has been lost. Franklin Clark will never inherit his brother's fortune.
I'll marry his mother then.
Disappointed at having missed the chance to become Lady Clark, Thora Grey left England.
This is Dick Donbar.
Yes, the fourth
Donald
Dick.
Fraser and Megan Barnard married.
What?
On Poirot's recommendation, Mary Drower started to work for Lady Clark. The elderly lady's condition suddenly took a turn for the better,
What's Carmichael poisoning?
and a few months later, to Dr. Logan's great surprise, she was back on her feet again.
Just spontaneous remission.
According to this eminent physician, it appears to be an extremely rare case of spontaneous remission. Lady Clark has enjoyed very good health ever since. Journal of an Innocent, the incredible story of ABC. As for A.B. Cust, after being advised by Poirot, he made a great deal of money by selling his story to the press. And as for me, and with business booming, The Black Swan has become the #1 tourist attraction in the whole of Yorkshire, even more popular than York Minster.
What?
Because you weren't murdered there.
Yes.
I was nearly killed by the ABC killer.
What?
Yes, I know I had a big D, but...
So what if we'd made up a thing in the tobacconist shop instead, or what if we put real bullets in the gun? Well, that was a thing. It was worth £1.15.
So, plot-wise, that, as far as I remember, sticks very closely to the novel, which is one reason that I couldn't say anything, because I knew from the start that Cust couldn't possibly be guilty. Which is tiny bit of a spoiler, really.
Well, alternative ending. What if you choose real bullets?
Big mess, splat.
There is a 13-minute YouTube video.
I was wondering what you didn't give Hastings a gun. Wouldn't that have been simpler?
I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot.
Tick, and it cuts to a body lying on the floor.
He had no right. He should have paid for his crimes. I should have expected what he did. Come on, Poirot. Everybody makes mistakes. Exactly.
But I am not everybody.
If one day I sound pretentious, please whisper these 3 letters in my ear. ABC. They shall remind me that we all have our limits, even me. Disappointed at having missed the chance to become Lady Club.
Okay. You should
So
say
the whisper the things in my ear, that's actually nicked from a different...
That's Holmes, surely.
Tips. It helps if you read the book.
I think that might make it a bit too easy.
Some of the things I didn't know what to say to get Poirot to do the Poirot-y things according to, what the game thought was going to trigger the right thing. But
Well, okay, I got 463 out of 600 ego points. That's not too bad. Possibly. I imagine you get the ego points for getting everything perfectly right and looking in more mirrors.
Yeah, I was just saying, if you have read the book, then you get all the ego points by it.
What are the bonuses?
it is of course a rare Christie in which people aren't poisoned.
I mean, there's still some pharmacology in it.
There's still some pharmacology, yes.
I got what?
Small donkey, but not medium donkey or large donkey.
Surely you should have got that for some of the Lex tray.
Medium donkey. No, what's medium donkey mean?
I mean, I would assume it requires you to make a bigger mistake.
What will I get the small donkey for? The medium donkey unlocks after you've made 4 mistakes in your inquiries.
Alright.
What's large donkey?
It's a donkey that's not... No, wait.
Make 8 mistakes. Make a mistake is small donkey. cleaning tomcat.
What is purring tomcat for?
Cleaning tomcat is taking care of your moustache. Am I right? Oh, okay. Apparently, every time you go to your apartment, you've got to check the mirror. They all count as separate visits.
It's not like Poirot is there to check the mirror.
Purring tomcat is doing it once.
You probably did it sort of n-2 times or something.
Ideas. Oh, solving the riddles apparently, okay.
I forgot which one's the riddles were.
I assume the riddles. And then a ridiculous number of moustaches.
What were the moustaches for? Checking, feeding like a moustache 8,000 times?
No. I mean, the candy moustache, I think, is for not killing Franklin.
Right, Cupid bow, finish Andover. Walrus, tell Jeff about second crime, secret. Pyramidal, finish Bexhill. Marshall, leave for Churston, secret. Pencil, finish the Aquarian, Churston. Curve and swoop, assemble all the suspects. Hungarian, finish searching the mansion. Handlebar, prevent the door from opening. Candelabra, inquire at the main suspect's home. Kaiser, question the main suspect. Imperial, unmask the murderer. So I need to get Samurai and Gandhi, okay.
It tells you, I think, on here what they need, what you've got, more or less.
No, so Gandhi is choosing the non-violent one.
And Sheriff is presumably using the violent one.
Oh yeah. And then we've got Dali and Mustang.
Okay, it says us here, find out how to unlock it for yourself. That's very helpful. Doll doesn't say either. Black Swan doesn't say. Why don't you? It's an achievement guide. Achievement guide should be a guide.
They should put things behind the spoiler tags.
Oh yes, Black Swan is managing not to cause Dean to have a heart attack.
You get the Dali achievement for having made Miss Drower cry.
Right.
Which is to demand that she stops lying, deduce inheritance for her, and accuse her of lying. You also get small donkey apparently.
So what's Thor's
What's Black Swan?
What's a swan? Anyway.
Oh, to go and look Black Swan. It's incompatible with Sheriff Moustache. Black Swan is you call up Black Swan and scare him by saying you're going to get killed. And to get a sheriff, you've got to make right choices in the conversation with Dunbar, apparently. Okay. Black Dragon and Dragon Smoke.
Something in Churston.
Need to find all the dragons in the mansion. Okay. Black magic.
Right.
Incest burner. Read the latest newspaper. Apparently.
That's true.
there you go. That was a foolish thing. I shut us off now. Call it state. State.
State.